All right, let's do this. Yeah, what's up, everyone? This is it's an interesting time for me, but we're not quite all the way there yet. Let's say we're test piloting some stream improvements today, exploring some format changes. I would say if you've been watching for a while, you probably feel the same things that I was feeling in terms of just opening flow, and we're doing it live. I mean, the problem with this stuff is it's pretty much trial and error. I trial and errored it a bunch before the stream, and it seemed to run smoothly enough, so I think we can hopefully continue that trend while we're live. Yeah. Let's go ahead and jump on in. So, this title is a double purpose. We have, on the one hand, on my end, I did a fairly experimental GAC remod. Just completely robbed the cradle on Darth Revan and even Bastila. Honestly, Bastila maybe even lower than I'd like, but again, this whole season has been kind of about experimentation, and this feels like the closest to where I've always wanted to be with a lot of this stuff. We have a setup that just feels ridiculous, and we'll get to the details on that in a second here. But also, this title is extremely appropriate because Vader just doesn't have a swh.gg account. 2GL, 6.5 million GP, and somehow either deleted it in the past, or I feel like if they delete, isn't it true that if you delete it, you'll still have like a history for people to check? I don't know. But yeah, just straight up, completely flying blind here. Just kind of feels a lot like old GAC again, which is especially really awkward for a time where I want to be going harder on defense than I usually do. Especially mod-wise. A lot of mods, almost all of my best mods are sitting on defense right now. But yeah, so I got bored of 25 plus rolls. That train hasn't slowed down yet, and I got nothing to say for it. Life Nova. This is a Merc Guild. Rocking the 77 million GP. I actually left it day early, so I just completely missed the challenge Rancor for no good reasons. Yeah, my mods have been ridiculous and are only continuing to grow at an alarming rate. I'm up to, if we're counting 24 plus instead of 25 plus, I have 22 now. So I'm almost up to 24s. Yeah, like 25 plus speed mods is like alarmingly within reach. So cheers to that, I guess. Yeah, we have a pretty huge mod advantage. We have one jail advantage, but he has the advantage of I have no idea what the dude's gonna do. We do, at the very least, see a bit of what he's doing. You know how I get so many slicing materials? Honestly, I don't even farm them that much. Or, that's not necessarily true. I farm them whenever a good mod shows up, and I'm talking like a really good mod. I don't really speculative slice much anymore. I just keep on farming. Honestly. Like, the only... Oh man, this is gonna break the flow a little bit. We'll come back. The only mod that actively caused me to drop everything and farm mats in the last month was actually probably this one. If I remember it correctly here. Was it you? No? No, it was Crit Chance, almost definitely. No, it's just a... What am I missing here? It wasn't offense set, I don't think. What is happening? Is this where I'm gonna like tragically realize I deleted it somehow? It was like this with this at like 16 speed. Is it health set? Okay, we're just... Man, this is not a mystery I want to be determining right now. I'm actually kind of concerned. Okay, I know I posted this in bragging rights. I have never accidentally deleted a mod before. We're not doing this right now. In bragging rights. Did it really get deleted? There's no way. Oh, it's right here. Oh god. It just wasn't 60 yet. I completely thought I was 60. Okay. Woo! Yeah, this is one that like came in hot as like a blue or a green. Saw the triple match, saw the primary. Especially this is just I could really use a good one of these. And so yeah, just kind of dropped everything and just farmed everything as needed to get it maxed off. Such a first world problem. I know, like, listen, I'm the real victim here, chat. You don't know how I can't even complain about mods anymore. It takes a lot of time to. It's really hard to use all of the. Look, I'm the victim here. All right, let's get out of here. Let's go back to the regularly scheduled format. All right, now that I know that, yeah, I like honestly, I'm still probably just pretty addicted to sea slicing for now. But like the moment that I stop hunting for speed and go to synergy slices, that arrow's gonna be like number one. But yeah. So the matchup, the plan. This is supposed to be. There you go. Do it a little bit live. There we go. I hit the wrong button. Okay. We're in the right screen with the right transition. We do have. This is basically how I'm going to treat the new win condition. We're going to break things down separately, and also, because anytime that I would go into like the talking points, I would always just want to be in the actual GAC screen. So here we go. We'll get better. We'll get better at this. Also, this is a fun bug. Just we got some malfunctioning cloaking tech here. The moment that the round started, it actually looked like it was working normally. So anyway, yes. Yeah, Baby Yoda's, that should be like a seizure. Alright, anyway. We have a setup where I'm trying to just flood. This is already kind of the running trend last week, but I'm trying to, like, if I'm gonna have demigod mods, I'm gonna do the things that I always wanted to do now that I can do them, and also kind of have the teams to do them. Well done, Bescondo. I had some early shipment buys, and then there was the packs in the shop that were basically like the marquee packs, but like instead of getting 30 shards, you got 25. So I was able to get it for not like cracking tier prices, but it was like 100, 150-ish. I forget which. It was like 125 because I already had 25 with the one guy. I did it because I was really excited for a video concept, and that kind of all of my theory crafting was correct, but the biggest issue with it is basically I wanted to adopt Beskar Mando into Rey, which I've talked about that in the Discord a little bit, but you know what, honestly, some of that theory crafting is still alive here. Not quite. I think Vandor is probably a weak link. If I want to go just like full embrace speed superiority, I think that probably ends up needing to be Queel, which I don't have a whole lot against Queel. It's more IG-11 who I have a strong dislike of currently. But anyway, so we have some magic numbers here. We have a Nest that is plus 170. I think she is she's 349. I can check. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, she's 349 with the 170 side. So we have 349 here. The 351 Kara is still a thing from last week. I actually like juggled her mods around, but we were able to keep that intact. Which, by the way, God, I almost want to pull this up. Oh, I'm so tempted to pull this up right now. Yeah, I'll see. So this Mon Mothma team, by the way, I guess I should follow up because we ended up last stream a little bit rough here, right? We did end up winning last round here. after the ships fail. Which, again, I think thinking back on that fight, we didn't have to shove Plo Koon into the Separatist fleet. And then also just like, hey, I straight up just like underestimated Empire fleets and how sticky of a fight it would be for Galactic Republic. We did get low rolled on like the Negotiator target lock AoE. We didn't land any of them, but also like good learning experience too. I didn't realize how good of a counter Ebon Hawk just was to that fleet in general. But you just kind of deploy him and you're just chilling. Like the taunts stop. You don't necessarily have to like buff immunity him and dispel him. It's just like if the target locks are gone, dude just doesn't taunt anymore. So yeah, but anyway, so we were down on ships and he had held pretty much literally everything except for like I want to say GG and another GG adjacent team. And it was a really intense stream. Shout out to Thisk for streaming that, of course. My Mon Mothma team successfully held against Jedi Knight Revan with Yoda, Bastila, Jolie, and Barriss. Now, I will caveat saying that it was a Gear 12 Barriss, and so she was able to go down. But honestly, just the way that fight played out, and just I rewatched that fight probably like a good 3 or 4 times. So I think if Barriss was like Gear 13 Relic 3 to 5, she probably doesn't go down there, right? Especially if she's got, you know, the, like, I don't know what his modding was like, but let's just assume triple health set, 3 or 4 health primary. She's chilling, right? This is very much a paper cut team. Although Wedge is dishing a little bit more than I expected here, which makes me happy. I think if Barriss is better in that situation, Jolie doesn't die. Jolie died, like, very, very close. He was actually about to get a revive, but I think the fight would have just continued the same way, right? He'll get the mass revive. They will have crit immunity, but the Terminator train will just keep on going, and I think most likely would have ended it in, like, a stalemate timeout. Like, Jolie and Barriss should have been unable to die, but also Mon Mothma should have probably just been able to hold superiority. Yeah, team just went insane. And on top of that, this costs so much to do. Like, RIP to my Sith Empire team. We have a 336 Django. Unfortunately, my damage ceiling for him with damage sets, I really wanted to try to keep on it. Was about 323-ish, 353 with the lead. But instead, we got 336, 337. So we do have blazing fast final speed cap here. Which I think if you're just looking at this wall, and actually let's just back out as well in a second here. Like if you look at this wall and you're approaching with like, let's say equal power B teams, like I would be sweating. And that was really, I kept on calling this remod sadistic, and I think you can kind of see why, right? Is like, so I guess I should do a little bit of explaining on this Beskar Mando team. The whole idea here is with a 349 Nest, I wasn't able to like fully close the loop on her, of course, because it is what it is, unfortunately. Beskar Mando's base speed is, whatever. It feels so weird to say that 145 base speed is garbage now. It's not garbage, but like, he's the type of character who you want to position really, really early in the turn order. Like, extremely early. So, he can't do that too successfully. We do still have him clocked. Essentially, when Nest does her AoE, we will get him 10% turn meter. He's going to go at 324 speed, so we gave Nest potency on the cross. She should be able to land that turn meter removal more often than not. It's at least, you know, 85% chance, assuming no other potency or tenacity factors. We have Beskar Mando starting the clock at 324 speed, and then part of why I was so excited about Beskar Mando and Rey was I already had a script drafted for that to be my video. If you put Rey into the picture though, you're spending a GL and you don't want to spend a GL on anything that isn't GL worthy. The setup was just too slow, but I think in this situation, it's too slow for like the GL field, right? It's like you're either fighting Supreme Leader Kylo, which it didn't look bad at first, but it wasn't. I think I actually called this in the kid reveal. Kylo's turn 3, right after the Hux swap with the AoE. Kylo was pretty consistently always just stunning Beskar Mando. But the whole reason why this is cool, the whole reason why I still want to mess around with this, and I think that there is room for the RH brothers to go in with Beskar Mando lead here, is their rotation, even with just 2 resistance, right? Their rotation is an immediate 20 stack for Beskar Mando. And on top of that, of course, on top of 20 Whistling Bird stacks, it's a boatload of turn meter as well. Like, if you throw in another resistance here, I was actually thinking it might be kind of interesting to try like a Veteran Han bridge here. You're pretty sure it's season 14. I've been going by CG naming, man. Don't worry about it. Yeah, we have I think a really interesting opportunity to try to just chuck in maybe like a fast Veteran Han. I say fast-ish. Fast as in like he'll go in after Finn and Poe. Try to hit in the ability blocks, just try to stop them from really doing much. But yeah, instant 20 stacks because of Poe's unique. Any hit that they're doing, of course, is getting repeated, as well as AoEs are causing 5 hits. So like with Rey on the team, I did the math. It's about like 28 to 36 Whistling Birds generated, depending on a couple of circumstances. Right, like they're just an immediate, like you don't even have to worry. You just place them in right after Beskar Mando's expected turn. It's just immediate 20. Like that bomb is planted, and unless they're one-shotting Beskar Mando, he's gonna get that off, which I thought was pretty cool. I do think this team is maybe a little bit weak to DR. You know, you chuck in a like 330 to 339 DR. He's going before Beskar Mando. Nest, I'm pretty sure debuffs before she removes turn meter. We can check that to confirm. Yes, steal damage, daze, and then remove turn meter. Never a good sign. Bad for the DR matchup. But like, if they're spending DR up here, I feel like that's a pretty good value trade, right? So that's just kind of the whole thing I want to go for. And that kind of leads back to, if we just throw these numbers back away here. This leads back to our problem, which is we have to post enough down south to make sure that they can't just overkill this. Maybe I'm still freaking out up there. We have to post enough down south that they can't, you know, just toss CLS at your face and then suddenly you just spent a boatload of 25 plus speed mods just to get stunned by Han, right? Which means half this is your DR with the I'm glad you asked. Look, I'm in my defense here, okay? I'm not even that concerned about Darth Revan's speed, but I am a little bit sad about the friendly fire that happened to Bastila in the process. For Darth Revan, we're running at a brisk 296. And Bastila right under a 295. I honestly, I don't know, I'd have to like, right, because if we just go in and sort by speed, like where are we cutting corners on, right? It's like, we're hitting like 19s and 18s average. Okay, here's a 15, but like, let's look at everyone who's above her. Honestly, like it was almost really painful. Like this mod was so essential for Vader, and I love the Vader that I have right now, but I don't like this. If this was just on Bastila, like let's screw this. Okay, but it's broken set, so it's not a great example. But like this would just like, if I could just like rip this off of Vader and get away with it. If I just had like one more crit chance, crit damage. Because, like, my Vader doesn't even need this 26. He has, like, a 10-speed diamond. Right? But, like, I literally just don't. If I sort by this, let me tell you, the competition is not fierce. We're hitting 8 speed max. This is the speed gap right now in my crit chance collection. It's not good. It's extremely bad. So, I'm kind of just... I don't see this even that bad of a Vader mod. Right? Like, 0% offense is probably the biggest thing against it, but like crit chance, potency. This is like kind of hitting almost everything, but it's doing it extremely poorly. This is a really bad potency roll, and speed is 3 below max. So, yeah. It's my Sith Empire are maybe perhaps not in the best spot. It's also, let's say that's why they're not in defense. Bastila is, I think, a little bit too low for comfort, because, like, easy example, right? Let's say I just feel like doing, like, EP Bastila versus Nine Sisters. This is a 303 Spirit, which Spirit in itself isn't that scary. But, like, Bastila, I would at least want Bastila to be, like, 305, 310. Because suddenly, like, with the 297 Bastila, EP Bastila, like, you kind of just get locked out of using that against Grievous. And like with their setup, EP Bastila versus Grievous would be a really nice thing to have on the table, right? So, I mean, overall, that's just the main plan and concern here. We have a pretty hardy defense down on bottom here. Double GL on their side versus triple GL on ours, so we still have some wiggle room on offense, but, you know, just enough to pressure them down bottom, keep them thinking. And then, honestly, really most of the thought in this defense is in these teams. And just, yeah, really just wanted to see how far we can push this puppy. Which leads us to the annoying part, which is our offense. We have... I kept on making a reference that this feels like a GAC from the past because of not being able to scout them, right? Like, that was just how we all used to play this video game. We just didn't know how their opponent liked to play, and we just had our plan, and they had their plan, and we would find out when attack phase started. We're stuck in the past in more ways than one, I think. I haven't fought this team. Do you know how long it's been? I don't think I've fought this team since, like April 2019. Like, I don't know. And then, like, it feels like Mother Talisman Lead Night Sisters has been so out of date as well that, like, man, if I had, like, okay, two things. I had my Veers stacked up faster because, you know, with Pyatt, with Emperor's Trap, right? Veers Mass Assist is basically just a ton of Tamir to everyone. And I don't even think this is going to be a scenario that happens a lot, but I kind of want to try to, like... Right, like, you always had DT fast back in the day, right? And I just don't anymore. Like I said, DT's on old mods that the boy is a bit of a dinosaur. Or an afterthought of my collection. He's not taking any important mods, and no one's contesting his 10-speed potency cross and 12-speed CD triangles, so... But yeah, I am kind of feeling that here because if we look at this in terms of turn order, we would have to do Stark, or Pyatt first, putting probably Mark on Stark buffs, and then Veers Mass Assist, and the zombie isn't nothing, right? He's got health, potency is a little bit of a but it's like Relic 5 with double health primary. This Mass Assist probably won't kill him. I don't think the troopers are even that good. But it's like, then suddenly I'm worried about, like, well, we don't have Stark Zeta, and I think against NS you really, really want to have it now. Like, TM Overflow helps us, it does a lot of favors for us here, but yeah, I don't know. I'm just not sure. I haven't done IT versus NS in so long. And then we come down here. So for offense, if we throw this back on real quick, we have a gas up top, and we're probably just going to CLS this. I'm not putting any extra thought on top of that. But that means that I think we have to play around the possibility of double GLs back in the back, which means we got to kill these two while holding CLS, while holding two possible GL counters. Based on his modding, we can JK or JKL his Kylo if he decides to go that route. We see his NS up front, so the only possible mix-up it could be, that would actually, honestly, mix me up pretty well, is if he happens to pose, like, Kylo DR, which still floats around every now and then, and it's, like, rare enough that I don't really remember the game plan against it. But I think, I haven't done this either. This is, like, back when GG301 came out, this is, like, almost what I'd expect, but I think I kind of just want to go GG Watt. So the reason why I'm saying GG Watt here specifically is because if we go GG Newt, like, I'm tempted to go GG because it's like JKR versus GG, especially now, is like kind of a dicey matchup, right? Like, if you're playing as JKR, so with the AI driving, it should be fairly nice, right? Or it should be, you know, fairly solid. The one thing that has me concerned here if we go GG Newt is my Newt is, he's gear 12. He doesn't really have, shall we call it, bulk primaries. So it would basically be a 50-50, right? If they mark Newt, Newt should just auto die. The Yoda, I don't think, has much crit chance here. Yeah, so he'll be on like 20% chance to crit, but I would still assume, you know, my Newt being what it is, he's probably dying in one shot here. And then if that happens, Grievous will get the bonus turn. and it's just going to be a little bit awkward. I'm not a huge fan of us having to do this AoE while they all still have target lock on, or tenacity up on them. Team Overflow probably makes Stark Zeta way more powerful. It totally does. My biggest complaint about it before was just like, you know, if you're fighting Imp Troopers versus Night Sisters, it was always just going to be a coin toss, right? You didn't know how often Stark was going to come in and actually hit that reduction. You know, sometimes he might go 2 turns in a row, and sometimes he might go once every like 8 or 9 turns. It was, you know, it's random. The fact that now your Imp Troopers just basically have a cadence, right? You know Stark is going to reduce them every 5 turns. A, you can play around that. B, it just gives that Zeta more consistent value. Am I just... the only reason why I haven't taken it is because I think in a lot of matches for them, it's gonna be unnecessary, right? If you're taking them, you probably know that you're winning straight up outright. And like the only reason I would want to take this for the most part is basically Night Sisters, and I'm not expecting to be fighting Night Sisters that much. So that's the reservation there. But yeah, I think the Team Overflow change was a pretty solid buff to this Zeta. What's up, Cluster? But yeah, so we do have, I think, on a GG. The question is like, am I gonna regret spending a watt here? And like, it might end up being unnecessary. Like, we could just go GG basic first and just play it out from there. You know, we would have like Newt bonus turn with the extortion after that, B2 dispel, and we just play it out. GG, I think we can spend watt here. You know, up top we're not seeing a whole lot. Like, if we can afford to spare Malak, then... Again, have not done this in so long. Guess he didn't miss much. We're doing things experimental today. We're testing new formats. And then yeah, CLS up here and we'll figure out the Geos from there. Right, it's like, we do have a Vader. He is Relic 8, so he's a little bit more watt independent, let's say, with better modding than he's ever had, so even more so. But Vader still does enjoy having a watt. But I think, just for the sake of getting things kicked off, let's try to go what I feel like is a safer route here. Alright, if they happen to mark watt, he's not on like the best modding, but he's still the heck of a lot beefier than Newt. We're gonna get the B2 activation. B2's gonna kick things off. It'll feel a lot better curve-wise. So, I was looking defense. Again, have not seen this JKR team in so long. So yeah, let's get rid of these win cons and let's just get going. I assume this has to be weapon tech on Vader or Grievous though, right? B1 weapon tech might actually be better banners. I'm not sure. Also, is there even any points potentially in tank teching at the start here? It is going to split their focus, which is actually maybe worth something. Yeah, I guess let's try it. I'm assuming that they're going to mark Watt. Let's... Nah, we got a weapon tech Grievous. Alright, so if we aim B1 here, we're going to pop the Foresight before, so if we get the buff immunity, yeah, Battle Meditation suddenly just sucks horribly. Alright, we got the initial target lock plus the AoE. The target lock's, of course, not doing as much without loot here. There's one downside. I guess also the one downside of giving this weapon tech to Grievous is we are putting B1 on a much tighter timer that we need to just close this fight out. Yeah, no crit. It does also mean that B2 getting chipped lower is costing us crit avoidance. So GK just uses Mass Assist, right? So if we pop Savior on him, it's not actually that bad for us, I don't think. He did not. This was like a dead Watt, if I've ever seen one. I could have sworn, maybe that was just JKR mark? Remarking? I could have sworn Watt just got hit with a Mass Assist. It's possible, though, this side hit 90 instead. Not exactly counting on it, though. Alright, they're gonna counter, they have Foresight, I guess we just put Bastila. B2 activation, or if B2 activation took priority with that swap. We want to pick up Jolie, of course. Okay, that's actually really good for us banner-wise. If they keep on hitting B1, as long as he doesn't die, is a big if. There's a lot of damage, sir. This should not be... Well... That's dead Revan, and this basic should not top Magna back off. 55. A little bit too expensive for Watt, I'd say. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, my Watt is on a lot worse modding than he used to be. Like, I think if I had, like, double protection with, like, Crit Avoid arrow, like I used to run on him, then I think, he probably could have wielded that storm a little bit better. Right, like, Yoda would never have been able to crit him. So, I mean... I was thinking along the lines of, like, if we want to save Malak for up top for that solo... And the Spirit is, you know, 270, 300 with the lead is quite nice and all. We could just chuck in Bastila right now and just go, like, a weird EP lead, like, just set up the immediate shock. AoE, and then we could even just go, like, AoE shock into Palpatine's stun attempt. Like, this Asajj, you know, certainly not that fast. Bastila, despite being a little bit broken ankles, is fast enough here. I think this seems like an okay plan. This is like a really weird way to butcher this team, but considering the lack of mods, like, if there's a GG in back, I think we can just wing it with other teams. So yeah, I mean, we do need Sith Trooper to eat the Spirit Dispel. The rest kind of doesn't really matter. I don't want to spend Vader here. I think Vader can do his own thing elsewhere. I don't even know if we need anything else. I mean, of course, if Palpatine low rolls on the stuns, then maybe we take more hits than we'd like to. Or like Jedi-wise. I actually wouldn't mind tucking in Barris here. We have 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. That's the perfect number I'd like to hear here. Yeah. I think that sounds alright. Use OG Kylo if you don't want to waste Malak on Orn. My OG Kylo is not up to industry standard. He doesn't even have the Zeta, so would love to. But yeah, I don't think that'll be happening. We hit where we need to. Alright, let's get the shock down on Daka immediately. Barris, you can pretend you're here. Wow. That is like right on the brink of death marking. Alright, let's get the second shock down. Third shock down. Fourth shock down. Okay, I mean, we have like Plague kind of roaming around right now, but Barris can just kind of top it all off. Let's pick the shock back up here. Get to work on you a little bit. I mean... I mean, we do have ability block on Talzin. I don't know, Sith Trooper's not going to get us protection back. We might as well just... I guess Sith Trooper's not going to have to... Sith Trooper's going to have to deal with a little bit more. I was kind of expecting that Spirit to die. I like how we just have this one Plague roaming around, basically. Alright, Palpatine can kind of just do his thing now. Yep. We need to make the fit shock front, man. Just missed potential right now. There we go. For good measure. Yep. Yep. Just do me a favor here. Alright. Somewhat overkill here, but based on what he's showing up top, we don't really need these people anyway for what's in rear. If Basil was faster, I'd say maybe hang on to it for possible Grievous, which... Okay. Oh, speaking of Scoundrels, actually. We, I guess you could say we had a close encounter. He's in here, but the Whistling Birds are maybe still chicks for the moment. Actually, when I saw Kira, I actually thought that he might have just chucked him in there. Okay, so what do you all look like? So what does this mean for him? He doesn't even have Jedi Knight Luke, by the way, and he posted Gas. Well, he posted JKR as well, that's true. I mean... I'm not sure if I see him clearing. I mean, I respect the GL post, absolutely. Especially because I feel like no one hides in rear anymore. And that's just kind of a shame. I looked at pose speed, or fin speed, and didn't even... Well, 248 is quite low. That grenade's coming in late. Yeah, we can just JML this. I don't see any reason why not. Which also means we are headed over to... this whole thing. I did redo Skywalker's mods in the remod, but honestly, these remods, or this Skywalker load is actually sick for this matchup, so I'm actually really happy to be on it. Double protection, crit avoidance, tenacity. Gas is never dazing. CLS. Gas is almost never critting CLS as well, by the way. Unless he like happens to have loaded him with extra, but otherwise he's looking at like 20 or 30% chance to crit. What do you think of his potential with GL, Ray? Yeah, I tested that. That was actually gonna be my first video. Simple answer is, if you're gonna spend a GL, you want it to be able to do, you know, for the price of GL, you want it to do GL-esque things, and just, in GL versus other GL, it was just not good enough, unfortunately. It just came out too slowly. The concept worked, but just, yeah, like JML, ability blocks. Rey, lead, naturally counters Beskar Mando. I don't know if I got to try it against Sith Eternal Emperor. Or I think I did, but it just wasn't, like, closing things out fast enough or interestingly enough. Yeah, I did test it. Sith Eternal Emperor, I think, got to ult first. Like, the Whistling Bird, I think, deleted 2 people? Or it was, like, a 2 or 1.5, like, really close to 2. But yeah, just, granted, like, full disclosure, my Beskar Mando isn't the best. My offense meds also aren't the best, right? Like, we have a primary with 17 speed, and then the rest is just, you know, 10% defense, maybe iffy. I get like a really high speed triangle, but then again, it's all just, all the best I can do is speed and then just irrelevant stuff. 24 speed, 1% offense, like low roll, and then irrelevant stuff. All right, like, just showing, like, my Beskar Mando is not like, this is probably like the closest that I get to like a good offense mod. Right. So, yeah, again, it's just kind of the issue too, right? Is like, if you want them to really pop off, unless you're just like drafting Queel to just like drag everyone up, and then you can just kind of like kneecap everyone else, Queel lifts them back up, and then suddenly you kind of pretend that Beskar Mando has a good base speed. Yeah, I mean, maybe it's just the fact that I don't have Queel yet to start that engine off. I wouldn't mind gearing him, and his gear list isn't nearly as bad as IG-11, whatever that's worth. I am gonna unfavor IG-11. I refuse to gear him, unless CG forces me. But yeah, I mean, plus, like, you know, offense share would just help Whistling Birds as well. And like, again, I think if you look at this team, like, if I give that set that's on Nest to Quail, he's probably going like 370-ish. So yeah, it would basically just make Nest 370. It would make Beskar Mando a lot faster, so I could actually just bring the bros backup, but also I don't have that much speed depth yet to be able to commit like that much. So please turn down the volume of the music a bit. Yeah, sure. But yeah, I really wanted to believe in Rey with Beskar Mando. I really did. But yeah, unless Quail was the missing piece of that combination, right? Because like think about this too, right? Is like Rey, Beskar, Double Brother. That's 4 slots committed, and you have no defensive tools, and like we don't really have a tank that's just like you drop them in the slot and they'll just take care of everything for you, right? So like immediately it was like, okay, well defense is off the table just entirely, and then offense wise it was like, we're spending a lot for a little, I feel like. And yeah, so this is me kind of taking what I thought was the best parts of that and trying to reuse that in a different team that I think still has potential. And I think, I mean, the more I think about this, like Vader was just kind of like call it like a throwaway, right? Like he does absolutely nothing for this team. Like they don't even really have a good source of buffs for him unless Beskar Mando happens to like trigger and place it on him. And if they do, that actually is kind of funny and sick. But yeah, probably should stick Quill in this team, and then it'll be a much trickier team to approach. It's just kind of where that's at right now. But yeah, anyway, back to the main show at hand. We have CLS in pretty good shape. I think in pretty good shape for this fight, and just kind of in general. I took him off with the more damage-centric modding, but I was kind of, especially if CLS is going to be more offense-oriented now. All right, his speed is kind of lower significantly, but like 288 with potential lead turn meter is perfectly fine for the most part. Yeah, we'll just shoot gas. CLS will gain solid amount of turn meter, and haven't really done this fight in a little bit, but should be the same fundamentals as always, I think. Let's see. I think we should be on guarded Chupio pretty much always now because of these new mods, I want to say. 65, 46, so we're at 111. This is closer than I thought, but yeah. Chupio is guarded, and I think that's all we want here. CLS has enough crit avoidance to stand on his own. Alright, shooting gas first. It's a 285 Rex, by the way. I didn't show that in or on stream, but not like blazing fast or anything. We'll take a couple of counterattacks. Not that bad targeting for us. We're just going to stay parked in defense stance for now. Take the top ult out the counterattack just in time for us to get the C3PO mass assist, although it's not even that good yet. I do think that like this team isn't really modded for this fight anymore, but we should drop down C3PO to go like right after these two, right? That being said though, I think we're probably supposed to just pop it anyway. I think just if we're going to be making good time on it, taking him out, we kind of have to be. Okay, I want to say this should take him down. Looks like enough percent HP. It is. Remove his turn meter. Remove his life. Do we get this all in one topple? I don't know. I mean... Oh, if we can... Oh. Wait, did everyone just evade that? Oh no. That actually would have been so sick if we just killed him on counters right now. I think we all just evaded that. That's actually kind of bad. Like, it doesn't matter, but... So much missed potential. Alright, so check this out. He didn't even crit gas here. Alright, that hurt. But, yeah. I mean, 54, of course, not the best banners, but... Gas was like, for not being guarded, Gas was absolutely just chilling there. Is guard on 3PO on purpose? Absolutely. Because we've got 85% base crit avoidance on CLS, we basically just add a third guard to the team, right? That is a very deliberate decision. Right. 35% on the triangle, down into learn control, 50% more, we stay parked in defense stance the whole time. We get more turn meter off of, you know, their AoEs and counterattacks. Oh god. We're going to be adding more features to the stream here, but we don't quite have it ready today. But I would love to have seen what happened with that Echo Grenade. I don't think I saw everyone get evaded. I thought we took damage, but just... I mean, like, granted, right? Like, 50% counter chance. But he didn't dispel us, and I don't... The grenade just always dispels. I'm pretty sure on that. Yeah, dispel all buffs. I think he just like straight up got evaded by everyone. That's really, really low odds. It's kind of funny. Alright, we can just stroll on in here, I think. Might as well Jolie, maybe. We cannot cam, or if we do cam, he's not going to be a Makashi, which makes me, like, at that point, what's even the point? Oh, right. God, it's been so long since I even thought about that thing. Yeah, so we took the 20%. So he totally just missed everyone, just based on evasion up. That's tragic for him. I mean, it's not, because he would have just been countered to death, but it's tragic for me. Misconnection. Alright. What does this leave us with other Jedi team-wise? Bastila lead, or JKL lead. Yeah, this looks comfy. Shakti also kind of falling from grace here, but like her base speed is so good, right? She's still on 304 with like 14, 11, 11. Yeah, she's fine. We'll just be parked on Ray for a bit. Sure. Yeah, Lars, you're 100% correct here. Alright, I'm probably just gonna F-Flix here, just for the interest of not dying. I'm a big fan. You're gonna taunt eventually, because since you didn't get the ability blocked. We also just have Mark. Let's preserve the turn order, get the Mark down. She's down in the health region already, so we're just gonna start beating away. Give JKR some extra turn meter. Oh, this is basic. I thought you just countered. I was like, what are you... You're dazed, sir. Cheater. I would like to call gas here, but I think if we call JKR, we'll slip in a swap to gas first. Or we could just stick her in damage immunity already. So this is actually kind of good timing then. So I kind of just want to... Yeah. We'll let her do her thing. Took a whirlwind, kind of hurts, kind of doesn't matter. Alright, Mark is about to come back up, although she's about to ult, so we probably don't even want to bother. Let's just reduce her one more time for good measure. Alright, JML lead looking fine. Pop it out. Let's see. I feel like if we swap to Hermit Yoda, it's a little bit too fast, and if we swap to Jolie, it's a little bit too slow. But we probably have to swap to Jolie. Is that true? That's pretty true, I think. No, okay. I think JML looks just right. Why is she... Oh, because F-Flux gives us turn meter. Ah, whatever. That was... slightly unnecessary, I guess. Can we just let her ult, please? Thank you in advance. God, she actually just got so much more offense off because we kept on turn metering. She's got to be pretty low. God, look at this. She's so close. Wait, she just killed JK with the AoE the Whirlwind. I'm pretty sure he can't be revived. I'm pretty sure that's true. Could I just land a crit on you for once? His crit chance sucks. That's not even gonna be happening here. We can try, but again, I'm pretty sure, yeah, he ain't coming back. Let's just get everyone topped off now. Kill time for a bit. Not gonna spend any turn meter. We're just gonna let them take turns. And then there was one. Alright. Yeah. I think we just fed Ray a little bit too much turn meter. It got JKR a little bit too low. It's pretty much all it boiled down to. Didn't really need to lose him there. But whatever. Team's dead. So she's not tenacious enough to be a menace. She's also not much of anything else. How are we doing with Geos? $250. I guess just in case it's a second speedrunner, probably not. $226. Wait, is my sign out? No, my sign is still. His scuffedness has not changed. Could he? What's his spy looking like? He's kind of got it where he needs it, unfortunately. Yeah, I don't know if I trust Scion here. Wait, we tried Imp Troopers versus Geos, right? Didn't that actually end up feeling like ridiculously clean? Is it just time? I mean, they are bulkier, right? We had like a Gear 12 Geo Soldier or Poggle to bully on last time, but I think we might just get away with this anyway. I'm feeling confident about my defense plan, so I'm actually kind of down to take some risks here. And 345 Piet. What's up, Carboon? This ain't like Star Wars? Yeah, we're streaming Galaxy of Heroes over here. You're coming from somewhere else on Twitch. What's up, man? We'll take some counterattack damage here. We should remax it by the end. I think we're fine. Is there any reason why I'm gonna regret not bringing DT? I don't think we did last time. Let's just run this. We'll see what happens. I make no promises. Okay. I mean, Stark is the best damage target here, so we probably just roll with that. See no reason not to. That was a lot. That was a lot. Alright, we stuck on basics last time to avoid dealing with too many Sun Fact dispels, and I think we're probably going to keep doing that. Yo! Mojo, thank you for the donation.
You saved so many of my GAC runs. I wanted to show my appreciation. You make great content. Keep it up.
Thank you very much, man. GAC. You know what? I guess the GAC to be a little bit expected. Really doesn't know. We're not running out of steam here, but I don't know if we can start playing around. Yeah, let's just slam it. Okay, that. Okay, I think we're fine. It's so hard to tell with this team, man. They're like if I had everyone relic 3 or 5, I'd be like, all right, we're cruising here. But with all the damage deal is Gear 12, but then they just gain so many stats. This is like the hardest team to read right now. I swear to God. Right, like we have the speed where it needs to be to get them there, and then it's just like, I'm actually really curious. I've never been able to do those assault battles before. Is it coming up yet? Can we see it yet? Ooh, we're there? You're kinda. No, I already did them in that. Yeah, this one. So, since the last time this ran, I didn't have a bounty hunter team and I didn't have an M-Trooper team. Is how much difference we made in the last month. Finally dumping all of the gear that I had saved up. I almost want to... I feel like it's gotta be M-Troopers though, right? Because like, don't you need like Embo lead with Mando to get enough counterattacks that you don't just get beaten up at the start? M-Troopers would probably be the way to do this, but I kind of just want to try both. Like, I'm not used to having these teams still. Alright, peace out, Carboon. Here's some I already wrecked GA. We're getting there. Honestly, some fairly bad batter average, but like a couple 55s, like 54. But we have a lot of stuff posted on defense, so kind of taking it as it comes. It's been a weird day. Like, if there's one thing I say is a little bit of a shame here, it's that almost all of my good mods are on defense, so we're almost a little bit scrappier on offense now, but I don't know, man. It's just... This feels so much more fun and interesting to me than overkilling for efficiency. And like, it's probably less interesting from a stream experience, but like just trying to make not even necessarily like impossible defense, but like tricky. Because like if you trip someone up in like a special spot, that's so much more satisfying than like imagine if you had 4 GL, right? You just post 4 on defense and they just can't kill the 4th. Like that's whatever. But if we just like if this team happens to perform, I'll be really happy, because this is actually like one of the harder remods I've done lately. And I was sitting in the parking lot of a hospital, just like I actually joined GAC this week with like, I'm not even joking, 20 seconds left. And this was like, I saw Wedge had one missing mod, because like this is what I'll do, right? Is like at the end, I call it like, I think it's from Top Gun or something, like walking down the runway, is I'll just go in, I'll just scroll of like, do I see any missing slots? Do I see any missing slots? Like OG Kylo missing, but like he doesn't see use, so kind of whatever. Keep scrolling. And I got down to like Wedge, and like especially now that we have like these like mixed Gear 13 and Gear 12 teams. God, where is he? The boys. Boy? Wait, what? I'm just gonna assume I skimmed past him somewhere, but I was like down to here with like 40 seconds left in GAC. He has a broken set this week. I'm not ashamed to admit it. Whatever, I got that mod on there. Yeah. 5 crit damage sets, it just makes him do more damage, right? But also like this is the mod that I slammed on him at the last second, and honestly, worth it. He's the cannon for this team. The rest of the team is just an excuse to give him more attacks, so I'm okay with taking that crit chance sacrifice. The potency as well, also pretty good for him. We want these damage downs, or defense downs. Alright. I haven't done this in so long, but isn't this just gonna be like autopilot? It kinda has to be, right? Saying the trap is so much fun? I 100% agree, man. Beskar? Testing has been underwhelming. The theory crafting has been fun, and I'm trying to see if I can make the theory crafting work. We kind of need to get through at least one round, but maybe just see how he performs over the course of this week. Honestly, the biggest issue... I could just talk about this while we're waiting. The biggest issue I had is it felt like I didn't have enough Scoundrels to try to do like a full commit thing, right? Like, I'm not taking Han Chewie from CLS. I'm not taking... We need to be draining, right? Is there any concern? Like, we're just kind of waiting for 3 stack, right? I'm pretty sure. Waiting for 3 stacks so they stop regening all that junk. Should we just be popping auto? I think we should. He's just gonna be draining like on cooldown, right? Just hit auto. Yeah. Look, I'm not afraid to admit it. I will always have trust issues with auto here. Not even just here, like anywhere. Just the way I am. Yo, Einhander. Those are the best.
Solos are the best. Smile.
I think... Oh god. We're back on the doubles. I thought I fixed this. I spent like a good 30 minutes trying to figure out. I even had to like go to like SLOBS support. Ah, whatever. You get double your dono value, I guess. Alright, can we... I'm turning auto off so I can like... Or maybe I just need to click on Zalbar here. You. We need the heal block on him. Alright, she's close. Yeah, thank you for the donation, man. I'm gonna make sure I bring this home correctly first. Alright, one down. That helps. Is this drain even good right now? I don't think it is. I think we get the heal block first. We didn't get the heal block then. Yeah, we're getting there. This lack of heal block means we might get past needing one drain then, which was the hope. Please? Okay. He's on the clock. His fate's already sealed. Get out of here. Sir. And then the rest of this should be pretty easy peasy. God, it's been so long since I've done this matchup. Alright, you're done with the drain. Maybe should have not left Kenders for last, but I don't think he's going to be able to top us off from max banners here. Yeah, 64. With more than mid to spare. Look, man. We've been here long enough. We've done enough sweatiness solos. Ooh, Finalizer. Interesting. Oh god, are you? Okay. He's like... Okay. I can respect this. This is like a ships player that like... Look, we all make mistakes sometimes, but he like realized where the racket was headed and was like, alright, your 12 is enough. Right? Like, there's gotta be at least 100 relegate Bistan SRPs now, right? Because like, once you get on the ride, man, you cannot get off. Like, you made the gear 12 investment to try to keep up with people, and then suddenly they're like relic 7 and you're just, your receipts tacking up. Sticker shock increasing. Whatever. He got off the wild ride. Never do ships, folks. Not even once. Can we just... I mean, how fast are any of them, really? I have a feeling that we can resolve this fight very, very peacefully. I was hoping that would kill. Yeah, see? Peacefully. How well is Zalbar gaining protection while shocked? So basically, shock works as a heal block for healing but not protection, which is why I was so... That's why I kept on saying, like, we really need this basic to land. Is, yeah, with the Zalbar Zeta getting protection back every time that he took a turn, we were pretty much... I always hate that they don't show this functionality. Yo, Einhander, man, you're crazy tonight.
Ilya. Oh dear.
Man, this text-to-speech lady is doing her best, man. Yeah, thank you for the donation, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, we, like, basically the only way that we were gonna, like, definitively stop Zalbar from being a pain in the butt is we had to get to triple stack and start doing the heal immunity on the basics. Was pretty much the only way out. Like, this stopped him from getting protection up as well, which mattered. Like, both of them kind of mattered. It's a double value. I like how it just has, like, the tiny... Yeah. This is the one that shouldn't be... Couldn't quite do what I was hoping for. Yeah, thank you, man. Alright, I think we can close this out. I don't think... Man, this shift has left me, like, scarred for life. I wouldn't just like, yeah, you know, Negotiator's meta, I don't really expect this to go, you know, real sideways or anything, and then just... We got nowhere. I think we got less than nowhere. They still had protection by the end of that fight. It was, a bit embarrassing. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna try sticking to Separatists versus Rebels for now, see how that feels. I do think that, like, probably my GR fleet is just a little bit too RNG dependent on... Since we don't have Y-Wing and Rex ship not exactly in the best shape. We're probably just a little bit too dependent on landing that target lock at the start. For now. A long-term thing. Just putting respect on the Rebel fleet, I am just going to chuck in an extra reinforcement, just because I don't feel like losing to the fleet. Yeah, it probably has to be this way. Plus, like, this ship has to hit like a truck, right? I'd almost just like an excuse to try it. Like, the ship was already, like, pretty respectable damage at Relic 7, but Relic 8 just has to, like, I don't know. If that's not dump trucking, what will? Actually, I will say, fighting Fisk's fleet last... That's a really bad tongue twister. Fisk fleet last week. I actually kind of made me really want to try getting a Empire fleet up and running, but like, I don't have Gauntlet, but also I don't think Gauntlet was really necessary at the opener there, right? Yeah, I think we take this stun. Why not? Alright. Let's... Well, we only have one target anyway, right? We might as well just run this down. Drop these off, spread this out. I think we get a finish before they get to do anything. Looking at our turn meter, I think we're supposed to drop the missile now. We're going to want to AoE, and we're not going to want to get rid of that one buzz droid. It's like the one time I think I've ever seen Phantom come out and not do the nuke immediately. Alright, hey. I appreciate the favor. That was fairly painless. We'll take a 63, I guess, a Rebel fleet, always. Alright, so I mean... We're just going for Silencer. What am I even talking about here? There's nothing else to say. Silencer dead. Thank you very much. I'm hoping. I want to believe that we're not going to deal with the same target lock RNG, but like they don't even have a pre-tank, right? This would be a real tragic time to find out. It hunted the 5 ship, which is actually still kind of good for them. 5s won't generate that much turn meter, but breach over here probably is going to be the best bet. So off of the AoE, we're not going to be getting that much turn meter, right? So I guess the 5s bomb will be a little bit delayed. I say basic just has to be the finishing kill here. Yeah. Everyone's turn meter is really low. I don't know if Plo Koon actually finishes here. I mean, we kind of have to, though. This might not be prettiest for banners. Oh god, right, his turn meter gets removed on Reinforce. This is sneaky, I gotta say. Huh. And Fudge is not dishing it out at all here. We probably should have tried to finish him off before that second round of dots hit. We might end up getting banner attacks here. This is so jarring. I hate the reinforcement coming in and then just immediately someone else goes. That's the Ahsoka I'm used to. I feel like she pulled out one insane performance where she hit like the 230k crit and just one shot at Houndstooth once, like a week ago. Then we're just back to good old-fashioned Ahsoka. Alright. That did not feel like a 67 to me. But I guess, you know what, I'm so used to losing Plo Koon by now. It's just expendable. I mean, 21-23. Not too pleased with that score, but considering everything going on defense, I'll take it. I'll certainly take it, especially for a blind run today. I had no idea what to expect from him. Was this worth it? I mean, he's got a Padme team, and now he has a Padme team without GK that's on offense, which honestly isn't that bad. But, I mean, my bounty hunters probably lose some value, right? Because we're not gonna be able to, like, the turn meter chain breaks if he can't crit on Mass Assist. I bet they could at least tag Spanners pretty hard though, and they're definitely like they're dropping that burn immediately. So, Oh, it's hard to say. I'm like super excited to see. Like, I really hope. So actually, screw it. Let's go back real quick. The one thing that has me a little bit scared here actually is just if we blow up the spot real quick. The best way to do this. Streamlabs is not conducive to this type of zooming. So if you look at the season stats, like his win count is really low, or his clear count is like super low, but his defend count is also really low. I'm worried that he just might not attack. But also, like, he's in Chromium, right? So how could he possibly... Right? Like, how... I don't know. You either expect to see high defends or high clears, or like high wins, and he kind of just, I don't know. He might have also just been a player that retired for a bit and then came back. I would kind of check out with his roster. I think it's entirely possible. But yeah, I guess we'll see. I'm really excited, man. It feels like I'm finally living the dream that I had like a year or two ago. Just like one day I'll have like insane mods and just try to like pull the craziest stuff. We'll see, right? I mean, I wouldn't say I'm all the way there yet. And the more I'm thinking about this, I really want Queel to be in this slot here. But yeah, time will tell. And like, I don't think, like, I'm saying this, like, I don't think Mon Mothma's like some insane team, but man, I actually, like, the thing that was coolest to me is, so you would assume like his JKR outsped Kara, right? Talking about the last week's fight. And he dropped the mark on Kara, so it's just like, okay, you would kind of assume that's kind of it. But Hoth Rebel Scout's base speed, I mean, Bob is about like 270-ish, but he was basically the one who won the fight. So I did two things. I brought him up to 299 speed, and I also brought his potency up a little bit. Which, like, of course, like, JKR in the fight, they're gonna have tenacity up, so that stun will really matter. But I think against other teams, like, he's basically like insurance almost. And like, 300 speed for a 124 set, it's more expensive than I'd like to give him, right? Like, this could have been helping Bastila or something, BSF. This was actually, like, perfect, though. This is, like, God, the moment that I, like, recognize this, like, since I ripped out Vader's old mods, and this is one of them, this is, like, the only other possible home I could think of, right? We have a stun that he's always going to be leading off with that we want to hit. He also wants to be 100% chance to crit to give him that extra bonus turn. I was really happy to realize that, like, okay, this mod has some extra shelf life now. And, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I think this team will probably underperform a little bit this week. Maybe get some surprise catches. I don't know. It really depends on what team gets used against it, though. But yeah, I mean, shoot, what is Quill's base speed? So she has plus 170, right? She's like 179 base. Quill is... Oh, wait. Oh, he's only 182, so there's actually basically no difference. The difference would, I guess, would just be bringing up Beskar Mando if we wanted to speed the bros up a little bit and just make that combo hit sooner. Interesting. Or we could try something like Nest, slower than Beskar Mando, maybe, to just kind of push him up sooner. Interesting. Maybe want a Bistan instead of Wedge. Yeah, this is kind of like, I called this like my, not free to play, but like this was like my cutoff for like, right, I didn't want to go off the deep end. Like I was happy to pick up Kara because A, she just adds a ton of timeout risk and, you know, all that jazz, but it's like we already had Wedge, and I think for most of this team's purposes, Wedge has actually kind of proved to be like really not that bad. But yeah, Bistan SRP. I don't think Bistan's gear was that bad, right? I think he's maybe a little bit eyeball heavy, and I'm in ridiculous eyeball debt right now. Seems like from Kara is great. Also very true. And I think it was actually a huge part of that fight. But honestly, just like the most OP part of her kit is just her basic animation. She lugs a heavy machine gun up to like melee range to use it as a melee weapon. And like just does that over and over and over. Like, look at this. Like you're fighting against this team, right? And you're just sitting here watching this. I'm just gonna pop auto. I don't like screw it, whatever. Like, watch. That was 4 seconds for a turn. Look at this. Like, yeah, they're under geared, so whatever, they're actually dying. But like, imagine like an equal gear fight, and like this team doesn't even have to beat you. It's just gonna take forever doing it. And yeah, I guess Bistan would actually have a better argument for like that whole purpose. Wedge is actually, you know, trying to win and stuff, and that's just not cool. Yeah, that, like, I'm honestly a little bit surprised that CG hasn't, like, tweaked this animation at all. Because, like, you know, they generally animate for slower X speed, so that the, like, wait, what does this even look like, actually? I just have to know now. Ugh. I mean, it's a cool animation, right? But just, like, wait, isn't like 2x base speed now? Isn't that the case? Man. It feels like she's in like 2x, but she's in 4x. It's insane. There's an MPOW. I totally agree with you, man. It's more just about like, basically, this was all done in context of potentially postponing Sith Israel Emperor, and I didn't want to add. Right, like, we were able to pick up, like, a meaningful, mostly meaningful, they're doing fine so far, Imp Trooper team, Bounty Hunter team, Mon Mothma team, and I didn't want to go, like, over the top on any of them where possible. Bounty Hunters kind of did end up being that, but they kind of need that, from what it sounds like, so, yeah. Django's doing stupid amounts of damage though. Almost too much. Like, legitimately almost too much. Which, good problem to have for defense. Maybe a bad problem to have for if I'm trying to do, like, Terminator loop shenanigans. But yeah. You know, it's mostly just about, like, overall investment, right? Like, if you look at this... I might mod load out. One squads. Right, it's like... Scout's gear list, really not that bad. PAL list was like, I think it's like a 50 to 100 stun guns and like 100 to 150 carbs. Was like, it was a lot to gain for the team for not that much, right? And then like we have Wedge, so Kara was like the biggest investment. And we already had Mon Mothma, like Relic 5 double Zeta. So it's just like, from there it's like, do I really want to go out of the way to gear Bistan? I feel like we're hitting points of diminishing returns there now. Yeah, Scout was like, Scout and like Gideon, man, are just like, I mean, honestly, the only reason why I haven't done Gideon is because he needs 150 droid collars. That might be 100, but I'm still super low on them anyway. But like, we've had some really low gear targets lately, and I'm gonna say, it's a nice change of pace. Kara's all about the moves. No, Cam is the move master. Everyone else is just a pretender. How can you say otherwise? Yeah, overall, not bad. again, going in blind today. Yeah, I think I'm fine with 21-23. And we'll see how blinking Baby Yoda does. Defense. What's a fight monster? Unfortunately, we are kind of closing out here, but yeah. All right, I think we're good there. Looking forward to maxing out Kara. She adds a lot, absolutely. And honestly, like the one thing, I don't have plans to do this soon, but I feel like there's like a key matchup. Fast Kara has a second home on Rey. This mod investment sounds like a lot, and it 100% is a lot. So the one thing I maybe don't like is I have a 25 speed potency primary, and I gave that to Nests. Which, like, on Mon Mothma, you know, we have a potency set, and she's going to get extra potency from Mon Mothma, so this is fine. Maybe on Rey, you want to be a little bit higher on potency, but, like, this is a 381 speed Kara on Rey. You can give Vader a weapon, weapon tech. That 50% turn meter is not going to save you, right? Like, she is going first, so, like, as a mix-up, I don't know when I want to try that, but I do want to try that anyway. Yeah, Kara's a lot of fun. I do still wish, like, she feels a little bit one note. Like, I still stand by pretty much everything I said in her kit reveal. But, you know, when we did the kit analysis at the time, the one thing we didn't know is that she would be bonkers fast. So, it just makes this on a low cooldown with the POW turn meter train from Mon Mothma as well. Just, you know, works out nicely. But yeah, it's good stuff. Alright, I think we're good there. Want to keep on getting stuff done for the channel and for the stream. I'm not gonna lie, I got carried a little bit away with some of this stream stuff, and we don't have all of it even intact yet. I do think, as a format change, this felt some executional misplays aside, let's say. I think this feels like it's gonna be a lot better in terms of, right, like, I kind of stopped doing this lately almost just because it felt like I was always skipping it. So to be able to just come in here now and, like, still explain the thought process, but actually be able to show it, yeah, feels pretty good. 276 speed Vader would outspeed Kara. Let's see, 276 plus 60, wait, not plus 60, plus, let's say 48. Yeah, Kara's probably going to be, it'd either be plus 40 or plus 48. 276, I mean, depending on rounding, it's a little bit weird to say, but 276 would, like, tie Kara at 381. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure it rounds down. It's been a while since I've had to think about mod rounding though, and usually I err on the side of it rounding up, so I guess we could just assume, but it's 381.1. Right, but also how many people have 276 speed Vader? Like, that's the real, I mean, shoot. I mean, actually, instead of sorting by all, let's, just for my own purposes, I'm gonna go like top 100 GP. So let's say about 125, 140-ish. Maybe 110-ish if we don't count ties. Assuming that this does die, which I'm not 100% on. Yeah, I mean, I still feel really solid about that speed. And again, that is with speed set, potency set, and potentially potency primary if I decide to go that route at that speed. There's not a whole lot of... Actually, I think her secondaries actually ended up being fairly nice too. Like potency protection, potency, health protection, and she's kind of just on everything she wants to be on for the most part. This is kind of whatever. Alright, percent defense, percent health, percent protection. Yeah, I don't know. I think it just feels fairly solid. I stand by it. And I will say, for the GAC bracket that we're in, I like the top 65-80 GP bracket that I'm in. I don't expect to see that many fast Vaders. I mean, what's he working with? Actually, let's go to... Wait, it was right. Why did I back out? I'll just take a random sampling. Okay, we'll call that an outlier, I think. I don't really have, like, there was someone from Prepare, I think. It's like the only guild name I recognize. Yeah, sounds like 271, fairly up there, but like, another big question. Yeah, that 271 cost them a little bit, let's say. Yeah, it's rough. But yeah, all in all, I think I feel good about it. I think it just adds some extra tools, especially if you stay unpredictable and they don't know if it's going to go with Rey or somewhere else, which granted, like, we are showing Mothma up front, so they would know when the attack phase starts. But yeah, I feel good about it. I would love to see some attack results. I'm gonna be really sad if this person doesn't attack, but we got a whole week, we got 2 weeks, and then we're back into 3v3, unfortunately. I guess that actually does mean that I need to, like, issue the... I thought we had 2 months. I need to correct the record on Throne Lead versus DR in 3v3. That is like the one video release that I actually feel like actively bad about. Like, everything that I said in it was true, but I just didn't give people all of the right information, and so that was like the one video release that I had where people were just like, hey, this didn't work for me. It's like, gosh. Alright. The one time that I tried to just, like, keep a video nice and short was just like, alright, maybe chose the wrong one, or maybe just putting too much value on videos being short. Alright. I think we're good. I think we're good for the evening. I don't know what my plans are for Christmas yet. I'll probably just stream the day after, like, do an afternoon stream. I feel like everyone's gonna be doing that, though. I don't know. I mean, if I'm, like, free early on Christmas, I could just, like, stick it in then. I don't know. I haven't thought the part through yet. It still doesn't even feel like Christmas Eve yet. We'll see. We'll see indeed. Alright, guys. Thank you all for stopping by, hanging out. Appreciate all of your support. Shoutouts to Einhander and Mojo for your financial support as well. And yeah, I hope you all have a good... Wait, how does CG schedule territory war offense and GAC offense on Christmas? That's what I'm asking here. Like, yeah, enjoy that or don't, because I think most people are gonna be doing that. But yeah, hope you all have a good rest of your GAC round this round, and of course, enjoy your holidays. Have fun out there. And be safe. Also be safe. Also very important. Peace out.